Hello and welcome. Today we're taking a deep dive into something really vital for, well, for every family, primary education. Modern families aren't just looking for top grades anymore. They expect a genuinely high quality, sort of holistic experience from schools, much like you'd expect from any really well-designed service you use. Our source for this exploration is a really fascinating master's thesis. It's from May 2025 by Paulauska. It's titled Introducing Service Design to Private Primary Education, a New Way to Lead and Meet Modern Family Needs. And it actually comes with this great tangible output, a magazine called When School Feels Right, which really brings these ideas to life. So our mission today, it's to unpack how private primary schools can become, well, aware of and adopt this powerful approach service design, all to better meet those evolving family needs and, frankly, stay competitive. Okay, let's get into this. Where do we even start with the challenge here? The thesis we're digging into, it points to a pretty significant challenge for private primary schools. What's the core struggle you see them facing, beyond the usual day-to-day pressures, I mean?
Well, what's often missed, I think, is that while loads of schools recognize they need to innovate, right, they often lack the structured processes or even just a common language to really understand and intentionally design that whole family experience. It's a bit like trying to build something complex without a proper blueprint. They might be working on assumptions, not real data about what families actually need or feel. And what's really fascinating here is that service design, I mean, it's super established in sectors like healthcare, banking, even hospitality. You even see it making inroads in higher education. But its application in primary education, it remains largely, well, underutilized. And this often comes down to just limited awareness, maybe some misconceptions too, like thinking design is just about making things look pretty, visual aesthetics or something trivial, not seeing it as a strategic tool for solving problems.
Right. So for the school leaders on the ground, what does this actually mean in practice? It sounds like they need a practical, accessible way to bring in this user-centered mindset, but crucially, one that doesn't just pile more onto their already overflowing plates.
Exactly. And this brings us right to the heart of what service design is in this context. Look, it's definitely not about redesigning the school logo or, a fancy brochure. It's a strategic approach. It's about shaping the services from the user's viewpoint, so the family's perspective, making sure the experience is desirable for them, but also effective and sustainable for the school providing it. It's really a mindset shift. It emphasizes understanding the real challenges users face, making decisions based on evidence, not just guesses, and constantly improving those experiences. And importantly, it's about empowering school leaders, even those who've never thought of themselves as designers, to actually apply these principles themselves.
That sounds like quite a fundamental shift, actually. And the thesis, it really highlights that many school leaders might already be doing some of this intuitively, maybe without putting the label design on it. Can you expand on that intuitive practice?
Yes, precisely. Many school leaders, they're already iterating based on feedback they get, or they're trying out new ways of doing things. They just don't necessarily frame it as design thinking or service design. So the key is making that intuition, that gut feeling, a more structured, recognized part of how the school operates. It's about fostering that user-centered way of thinking that leads to ongoing improvement, helping them spot and tackle those hidden pain points families might experience along the way. It kind of redefines excellence to include the feeling of the school experience, not just the academic results on paper.
Okay, so the solution explored in the thesis is this unique magazine-style guide, When School Feels Right. You mentioned it earlier. It was designed very specifically to be light, engaging, relatable, like a copy time read, not some dense academic text.
Yeah, and a key insight from the thesis is how this magazine format really tries to overcome those common barriers. Things like confusing jargon or the feeling that this design stuff is just too complex. It uses storytelling, lots of visuals, and real-life examples from schools, around the globe. And it's packed with simple, actionable ideas, things school leaders can actually try out pretty much immediately. Which makes the whole idea less intimidating, doesn't it? And reduces that feeling of, oh no, another thing to do.
The magazine has sections like the family journey and why feedback is gold. What's the actual impact of tools like these for schools? How do they help?
Well, the family journey piece, for example, helps schools literally map out that entire family experience, right from the first time they maybe look at the website to graduation and even beyond as alumni. Doing this can suddenly reveal these often overlooked touch points or moments of friction maybe, or even opportunities for creating real delight that were just invisible before. And why feedback is gold, I mean, it's not just about sending out surveys. It's about shifting the mindset to see every comment, every little interaction as a valuable resource, a chance to refine things. It really encourages schools to listen deeply, properly value those insights.
And there's that really vivid example in the Let's Prototype It section that really stands out. Could you share that one? It illustrates starting small so well.
Oh, certainly. Yeah, that's a great one. It shows how a school in the U.S. used simple Lego figures. They used them to simulate the journey of a child using a wheelchair through the school cafeteria. And this incredibly simple, low-cost exercise immediately highlighted accessibility issues they hadn't fully grasped before. It's such a powerful demonstration that innovation doesn't have to be so... Absolutely. I think the core takeaway really is that every little detail families notice, every feeling they carry away with them, positive or negative, it comes from the school's care or lack thereof. By listening deeply, inviting different voices in, trying out ideas, testing small prototypes, and learning from it all, schools can keep moving forward and make real human-centered change happen. It's an ongoing process.
That's a great way to put it. So maybe a final thought for you, our listener. What's something in your own daily life, maybe a service you interact with regularly, that could be made to feel right with just a little more intentional design? Something for you to mull over until our next deep dive.